Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. We're here at the range. We just finished up an NRL course of fire. I'm here with Jacob. Say hi, Jacob.
Hi.
We're actually going to try the holdover target for practice. So we're going to practice. It's going to be a 3-minute par time, 25 shots on the target, and we'll see who comes out on top. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
I just wanted to jump in real quick here and actually explain what we're doing before I show you the actual target and how you can use this target to practice your holdovers. So the idea is that a lot of people have always been asking me, how do you practice holdovers? When do you use overs, all that kind of stuff. What is a holdover? Well, typically when you're dialing for long range engagements, you have some sort of zero. In rimfire, it's usually 50 yards. And then anything past that, you're usually dialing up on the elevation turret of your scope based on the dope, the data on previous engagement, or the ballistic solution that you've come up with. However, if you want to save time on stages and you're someone who times out frequently, you may want to consider using holdovers instead where they make sense, therefore saving you time from, you don't have to spend the time dialing the actual scope. New shooters always advocate dialing for every single target. Speeding up will come with faster target acquisition, building better positions more quickly, etc. But there are those stages, like in this month's July 2024 Course of Fire, the troop line stage. If you're going for a fast time because it is the bonus stage, and you get bonus points based on the time remaining on the clock, holdovers are the way to go because it's going to be much faster than actually dialing. So I've developed this target, and it's going to be free to download. It's going to be found on my Patreon page, but you don't have to be a Patreon member to actually access the target. It is free to the public. It's just an easy way to host this PDF file. It's the best way to get it to you guys. Just head over to the Patreon page. If you like what you see there or you like what this channel does, consider supporting. But again, this is going to be open to the public. It's just hosted on Patreon. And Patreon benefits get you ad-free videos early, all that good stuff. So head on over there. This target is free, and this is what the target looks like. So this is the official Copper Star Precision Holdover Target Challenge. And essentially what this is 2 targets in one. So the PDF has 2 pages. Okay. There's a bunch of bullseyes on this page, and there's a bunch of black bars on this page. Well, what the heck does this mean? Well, the black bars are here to prevent you from basically cheating. If it was just a page full of bullseyes, you could just aim for the center of the bullseye. But the idea is that we have these black bars that are covering those bullseyes, so you can't really see them, and you score your target after you're done. And the idea here is your aiming point is always going to be this target right here at the bottom, but you're going to use different holds. The holds are labeled across the top. So they're in mils or MRAD. So a lot of people, most competitive shooters are using mil radian scopes, right? Or MRAD. I probably should make an MOA version, but for now it's just mils. And the idea is that you're holding over with this as your aim point, 0.5 mils, 1.1 mils, 1.8 mils, 2.5 mils, and 3.1 mils. And by holding over, right, a certain amount, you're aiming here with this hold will actually send the bullet pretty much where your crosshairs are. And this target is meant to be set at 50 yards, which should be typically your zero. So whatever your dope is for 50 yards, if you're not using a 50 yard zero, dial for your dope for 50 yards and then continue to use the holdover. So this target is intended to be placed at 50 yards. And for most people, that's their zero. So you have 0 dialed in your scope. You're not dialing these numbers, okay? You're holding over. So what you're going to do is dial 0, and then you're going to hold half a mil, aim at this target, and then hold 1.1 mils, aim at the same target, and you're going to see a series of bullet holes kind of perforate the paper here. And then you have this page behind it, this one, and those holes correspond to these targets. So a half mil hold, let's see if I can get both of these in the same frame here. So if you're aiming here, pretend this is behind this black bar. If you're aiming here, the half mil hold should put you right in the center of this bullseye. And a 1.1 mil hold should put you in the center of this bullseye. 1.8, etc., etc. So these bullseyes, they're an inch circle with a half-inch sort of dotted line in the center. So this represents a 1-inch target and then a half-inch target. And the way you would score this is if you, after you're all done, it's 25 rounds, after you're all done, a shot that is completely inside the center bullseye is 5 points. If you break this line, it's 3 points. If somehow you manage to squeeze a bullet in between these two lines, it's 2 points. And if you break the outer 1-inch line, it's going to be 1 point. If you miss the target completely, it's going to be 0 points. So 5, and then 3, 2, 1, 0, depending on where you hit it. And that's basically the idea. And the idea is that you place this at 50 yards. You don't have to actually go put a bunch of targets out at different distances and practice holdovers. You can all do it on this one target. You're going to take 5 shots at each of these 5 columns for a total of 25 shots. And the top score is 125. And the par time for this is 3 minutes. And it might be a challenge for some people, 25 shots in 3 minutes. The way I came up with that was that a typical NRL stage is 2 minutes, right? And so you can kind of think of this as roughly 2 12-round stages back to back. So a typical NRL stage that has 12 rounds takes you 2 minutes. So 2 of those is 4 minutes. But because holdovers should be faster, you should challenge yourself with a par time of 3 minutes. And that way you're basically going 25% faster than what a course of fire would be. So kind of stressing the benefits of how much faster you can be with holdovers. That is from a prone or a bench or a modified prone position. If you want to take this challenge with one support bag off of a prop, whether it be a ladder or a tank trap or anything like that, increase the par time to 4 minutes. So, getting steady and getting stable on a prop is a little bit more difficult. I think a 4-minute par time is appropriate to challenge yourself. So 3-minute par time from prone or modified prone, 4-minute par time from a tank trap or any other prop with just forward bag support. And we're going to see what this looks like through the scope. As the footage rolls, see where I'm trying to hold for half, 1.1, 1.8. And I tried to pick some pretty common holds. Half mil hold is usually pretty common and actually benefits those people with half mil hold hash marks in their scope. The scope I'm using today has 2/10 hash marks, so I actually have to aim between the 4/10 and the 6/10 hash mark. Keep an eye out for that. 1.1 is kind of awkward for everybody because no one has 1/10 mil hash marks in their scope, at least no scopes that I know of. So if you have a half mil scope, you're aiming just above the 1. I'm trying to go in between 1 and 1.2. 1.8 is a pretty common dope for a 100-yard target. So if you have a 50-yard zero and you're holding over for a 100-yard target, 1.7, 1.8 is right in that realm. And then a couple other long-range shots, 2.5, 3.1. And that just makes it so that these circles, they don't overlap each other too much. So you can realize which target you're actually shooting when you go and score the target. So let's get back to the match footage and see what this looks like in practice.
All right, 25 rounds, 3 minutes. You ready?
Yep.
On the beat. 20 seconds left. It's okay. You keep going.
All right, so here are my results. Jacob was having some problems with his zero. He's got to get some things figured out. Also, we tried to convert some things because he was using an MOA scope. So, Jacob, we're going to rematch in the future. Don't worry about it. But my target is as follows. So you can see we got a bunch of holes, 5 holes per column, times 5, 25 different holes here. And then I've made this PDF so that you should be able to print it front to back, but not all printers do that well. It's designed so that it should line up so it's a mirror image of each other. But I usually recommend just printing 2 sheets and then making sure that they are aligned perfectly. I tape them together and then I staple them to the target board. And when you do that, you kind of want to make sure that there's a line all the way across here. And the reason for that is you want to make sure that's as level as possible, because as you're going up with the holdovers, you want to make sure your rifle is level. You also want to make sure the target is level, because if you're aiming up and down on your holdover marks and your rifle is level and your target's like this, well, it's not really going to work because you're going to be shooting up in here. So try and make this as level as possible. That's why there's this big line down here, so that you can put a level or bubble level or something like that, or align it with something. And yeah, so that's what that looks like. And then I've gone ahead and scored the target. So when you peel back the second sheet and rip off the tape, what you'll see here is hopefully a bunch of holes inside these 1-inch circles. And hopefully you get something like this, which is inside this 1/2-inch circle. So that would be a 5. This one broke the line, so that's obviously a 3. This one just snuck in there as a 5. This one is like between the two. It may have clipped the inner ring, but give myself one lower point. This one hit the line, and you just go through and you mark these down. So remember, inside this circle, the inner circle is a 5, breaking the line is a 3, somehow doing this and getting a bullet in between the two. It's 2 points, and luckily I don't have any 1s on here, but 1 would be clipping the outer line, and then off the target would be a miss. So here's my target, 102 out of 125 on a relatively switchy wind day. It is only at 50 yards though, so definitely need some practice, try and get that score up. I think it's a pretty reasonable score. Question is, challenging you guys out there, download this target, see how well you can do. Let me know down in the comments. Down the line, we might open a contest period for this target, so might want to get some practice now. I know, Elijah and those guys do the Day of the Range challenges. I think this would be fun. I'm not going to necessarily copy that format, but I think it'd be fun just to challenge each other, and down in the comments, bragging rights. On Patreon, you should be able to maybe post some replies. I don't know if you can upload images, but it'd be cool if you scanned your target and sent it in. That'd be kind of cool, kind of get some bragging rights. But the main objective of this is to have fun and to practice your holdovers. So again, those holds are written up here. Might help to write them on a data card, right? And 25 rounds. So if you have 10-round magazines, you're going to require 2 mag changes. If you have extended mags like I do, it's just 1 mag change halfway through. But that's the idea, and this is a great way to practice holdovers at 50 yards. I hope that you take advantage of this resource, and again, it's available for free on Patreon. While you're there, if you feel like supporting the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. And I hope this helps you score more points. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll catch you later.